today. It's actually going to be FFP, Manchester City. Craziness that has happened in the last, say, 24 hours or whatever. A lot of people say Man City weren't surprised. I was surprised Manchester City weren't surprised. Hit the like, hit the share. You know what to do, guys. What do you think should happen to Manchester City if these 100 breaches are true or found to be true or whatever? What do you think should happen? Should they be relegated? Should they be points deducted? Should they have their titles stripped? Should they get a big fine, which will mean nothing to them, to be honest? Should they get relegated down to League One? I mean, I don't know what will happen. To be honest, with all Man City's money and solicitors and lawyers, I'd be surprised if anything happens other than a big fine and a slap. To be fair, this could drag on through the courts for years. It could go to CAS. I don't know. But it looks bad for the Premier League. It looks really bad on the Premier League. Something's got to be done. You've got to stop it. There's so much money in it now. I mean, where there's money, there's corruption. It's as simple as in everything, not only sport. But it's worse for sport, isn't it? It's meant to be fair play. Financial fair. FAIR, fair play. Fair means fair. If this is true, it ain't fair. That's the problem. So get your comments in what you think should happen, City, what you think will happen, or what you think won't happen. Nobody knows, but it really was a bombshell. It was no huge surprise, though, as I tweeted yesterday. Manchester City say they were surprised. I was surprised. Man City were surprised, basically, because, this was coming. It's going back to 08 or 09-10 season, roughly, and right up to now. But, I was not surprised one bit. I'm just surprised that hasn't come up quicker than this. We know what happened at UEFA probe. They couldn't go back far enough, and there was some technicality. It was thrown out over technicality, something like that. So that's how they got done there. But you can go as far back as you want with the Premier League. Some QC, independent type of thing going to be involved tonight. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens. We've got Henry in. Hi, Dave. Hope you're all well. Got a podcast at 9 o'clock. Henry's live tonight. And Henry Ray Baker channel's live at 9 tonight. So check that out, guys, at 9 o'clock. Pop in and say hello. Eamon Kelly, points deduction and fine is what will be handed down. Yeah, maybe. But even then, even if you got a 15-point deduction, they'll still stay up. Money, fine means nothing. It's a slap, really, isn't it? I think they should get a transfer ban. I think they should get a fine, a points deduction and a transfer ban. I'm not saying relegated. I'm saying maybe 10, 15 points. Something like that. Maybe 100 million fine or 50 million fine. Give it to grassroots football. And then a 2 or 3 year transfer ban where they can't buy anybody. That would be fairly good. Other than that, it's relegation. Or other than that, it's absolutely nothing happens. So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I hope City lose their title so we can have an extra one, says Jovari. I can't see that, and I don't want second-hand titles, to be fair. Okay, you can say you're fighting, basically playing with one hand behind our back for the last few years. There was only a point in it twice and 2 points under Brendan Rodgers. Remember that season? Which was unfair. But I can't see that major happening. I really can't. Hi, Dave. Just popping in before I go live. Says Doug from Doug Football Channel. Hi, Doug. Hope you're well. Hit the like, guys. Hit that like button. Smash the like button. I'm only really coming on for about 20, 25 minutes anyway. I was thinking about this. It's non-Liverpool. It's all about Man City, really. Liverpool are all over the shop at the moment. Losing 3-0 the weekend was an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. Exactly what Doug is saying. Smash the like. Hit the share. Let's go. Show you care. But we've got a big one the weekend, the derby. But we can talk about that all week. But today, just for the next few minutes, we will be talking about Man City, what will happen and what we think should happen to them. It's a crazy one. It's life. Look at Qatar, the World Cup. There was a craziness around the 2010 when they got that. There was money, there was brown envelopes, there was absolutely everything going on. And I'm sure something dodgy went on here. 100 breaches. 100. It wasn't 1 or 2. It was 100. It's going back a few years, I know, but every year there was breaches. Every year there was breaches. This is only going up to from 09-10 season up to 2018. What happened after 2018? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It's probably still going on. Who knows? It's absolutely madness. I don't want the tainted title, says Eamon. No, not really. Probably 3 we'd be capable of getting. United get 3 as well, probably. They'd be tainted. They'd be just tainted with a big asterisk, wouldn't they? No, but it's still bad, isn't it? Do you know what? It's bad for me. Is FIFA fair play or fair play rules or financial fair play? It's complete bullshit. If they get away with this with a little slap on the hand, let's say they get a little slap and say, "Don't do it again, ball boy, don't do it again." It's a complete joke. It's a complete joke, and that means then it's carte blanche for the likes of Newcastle, the likes of Chelsea. Who look at what Chelsea are doing. I mean, they're bending rules. They're like Yuri Geller. They're bending rules all over the place. Chelsea at the moment with their big 8.5, 9-year contracts. They're just doing a Yuri Geller on it. They're bending the bloody rules. So, it is madness. We know what happened with PSG. We know what could happen with Newcastle. They're not doing it at the moment, but they have the backing to do it. There's no right to appeal. Premier League have to make an example, says Jungle. Absolutely. Retro Unlimited, they will probably get a year stadium ban. All of the fans won't get in. Well, they basically have a 10-year ban at this stage because there's never anybody at the matches. Drop them down to League One if found guilty, says Eamon. See, this is the thing. What do you do? I know there's an independent commission set up under QC and stuff like that. But I mean, 4 years, this has been 4 years in the making. So they probably have a big bloody, all 2 or 3 coaches and solicitors and barristers will get off the bus in the city with Mactoum or whatever walking in. So it's going to be crazy, whatever happened. But I think something has to happen. Something has to happen. And something meaningful has to happen. I know Man City fans won't like to hear this, but something meaningful. Otherwise, the integrity of football, the integrity of the Premier League is gone out the window. So basically, what this is for is fighting for the integrity of the Premier League. That's basically what it is. No CAS appeal this time, says Retro. No, there will be no appeal. The question is, what happens next? Nobody knows. I mean, it was a bit of I wouldn't say it was a bombshell because we knew there was something dodgy going on, but just the way it came out of the blue, came out of nowhere, came absolutely out of nowhere. Bang! Sky News, or there was a thing on Twitter, Martin Ziegler tweeted it, and one of the reporters, and it was journalist, and it was, what? Bang, 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 and then it was, they won't get away with all the 130, 150, I thought it was 100 charges, but 115, it's grown by the day. No, but there's smaller technicality charges, and there's bigger ones. You know what I mean? There's probably be 70 or 80 small little technical breaches, but there's bigger ones where it's basically, a lot of them are to do with financial things where they weren't exactly straight with amount of money they were making and losing, and then transfers and stuff like that, and apparently giving managers more money than they should have got, and we're saying they got, like, I'm giving you 200 million a year, but really you're getting 150, there's 50, Obviously, it's illegal, and it hasn't been proven, so we have to say that in case we get copyrighted or something here, or taken down by Manchester City and all their lawyers, but nothing's been proven yet. But it is damning. It is damning. And if it is proven, we're just hypothetical here. If it is proven, what happens? That's basically what I'm asking. Because we don't know. We're not 100%. They're saying they breached 100 rules or 100 things. But if it's proven that they did breach most of them, what happens? That's the question I'm asking you guys. City hire Johnny Cochran. Just Hannah is in. All their chickens are coming home to roost now, says Hannah. Absolutely. Hit that like button. Let's get it up to 10, baby. We're on 5. 10 in, only 5 likes. Bang, bang, bang. But as I say, guys, it's the integrity of football, the integrity of Premier League. We look at FIFA and UEFA over the last few years. They've been caught in some big bloody turmoils and giving World Cups to places they shouldn't have went, and money and bribes and brown envelopes and what have you. I mean, it is there. It is in plain sight. That even makes it worse. It's in plain sight, This needs to be sorted out before the start of next season, says Eamon. Absolutely. I mean, you couldn't be starting next season with this hanging over your head. I see a few City fans on Twitter and saying, it's us against them and stuff. It's nothing to do. This is about the integrity of football. The integrity of us paying fans, either going to matches or watching it on Sky Sports or BT Sports, paying big subscription fees to watch, ultimately, Premier League. That's what I watch. It's basically Premier League, you know what I mean? You watch a bit of the lower stuff, lower level stuff and stuff like that. But it's basically Premier League football I watch, especially obviously Liverpool, but any of the big games I would watch, and a lot of the City games I would watch. So the integrity of football's at stake here, and that has to come into their thinking, saying, here, listen, I'm not saying make an example, but we gotta stamp this out. There's more money coming in. There's big states coming in, likes of Newcastle, Chelsea, what's going on there. There's so much money coming in. We have to do something here. Set a few more rules and give them a nice slap or something. 4 years to gather evidence. How long for a conviction? It's a jungle. I know, 4 years to gather the evidence. Oh my God. What a waste of 4 years if nothing happens. You know what I mean? Just Hannah, anyone still twerking for state ownership of Liverpool needs to take heed. State ownership is so shady. We've always said anybody who are worth billions are shady. Slim shady. 13-14, Brendan Rodgers is getting a Premier League medal, and so are we in 99 points in 97. Yeah, I can't see that. I can't see that retrospective type thing where they're stripped of the titles and you're giving them, or Man United are giving them, or whoever's, in those years are giving them. I just think they'd be probably taken off them. But I don't think they're given to anybody. I don't know. Juventus got slapped, I know, and got relegated a while back and stuff, and they went down, I think, 2 leagues, if I'm not mistaken. But that was for different stuff. That was a load of different, I think it was bribing referees and stuff like that. This is different. This is more financial irregularities. This is more, it's nothing to do with the players per se. This is totally different. So the question is, this is unprecedented, basically. This is unprecedented. The UEFA won that a few years ago where it was the Champions League and UEFA coming in and City had all their lawyers, there were 100 lawyers getting off the bus. That was a technicality. So they were found that they were in breach of a few things and got off on a technicality type of thing. And now this one is coming home to roost, and let's see what happens, guys. I think match fixing is a lot worse than this, so can't really see what happened to Juve happened to City. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I think Juve was match fixing and bribing referees and stuff, which is obviously way worse. But this is white collar crime, basically. If it's true, we don't know if it's true. It's allegations at the moment, isn't it? It's breaches, allegations, and the independent committee that's set up will have a look at it. 4 years of papers. It'll probably take 4 years to look at it. That's the problem. I mean, if they appeal it, I don't know if they can appeal it or whatever. I'm sure they'll try to drag it out. But what do you do? Lawyers won't get involved. It's either cut or dried, innocent or guilty. Is it as simple as that? They won't make it as simple as that. If it's true, Pep will leave 100%. He's already said it, says Eamon. I did see something that he said last summer about after the UEFA one, that if the owners were lying to him and he believed the owners 100%, the McToombs over there, the family that owns City, he believed them 100%. He asked them questions about, did you do this, did you do that? And they said no. If this is found out, will Pep leave in the summer? I mean, his integrity then will be up in the air if he doesn't, So, I mean, a lot of questions to be asked. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm not expecting something to happen very quickly, but, I mean, you'd want something, as Eamon said earlier, you'd want something sorted before the start of the next season, wouldn't you? You'd want something sorted this side of summer, wouldn't you? Really, transfers and stuff coming in. I mean, if you're going to give them a transfer ban or relegate them or take points off them or take points off them from the start of the next season, so they're starting -20 or -15, something like that. Premier League must have something concrete, otherwise they wouldn't touch it. Well, they've 100 breaches, they've 100 breaches, which isn't 1 or 2 or 3. It's 100. You said 115, I think it was. Some of them are minor breaches, but some of them are big breaches, Yeah, that's true. I mean, why would you even say it out? Why would you even say it out on Twitter or say it out on Sky News or give it to a journalist to say it? Martin Ziegler, I think, broke it. Why would you do it if you hadn't got something? Because City are going to come after you and sue the hell out of you. And, Martin Ziegler or whatever paper, either the Mail or the Guardian or whatever paper he works for, they would take you literally to shreds if you hadn't got some sort of, concrete, as you say, allegations or that something was true or something was off or whatever. But let's see what happens, guys. It really, really is interesting. It really is interesting. It's taken my mind off how bad Liverpool have been over the last 6 months. But I think City claiming they had higher commercial revenue than Man United and Liverpool was the final straw. And Madrid, yeah, I've seen that. They had more money in a financial year. Deloitte Latouche did it than everyone. Liverpool, Madrid, Barca, United, Bayern Munich. I mean, we know their fan base isn't as big as those clubs. We know their commercial revenue cannot be as big as those clubs. So how the hell are they getting the money? Well, we have ideas, of course. We can't say them because we just don't know. But they're obviously, we have ideas. But that, well, I wouldn't say it was a final straw. I say people know. I mean, they're not stupid. They watch it. I mean, City, worldwide fan base wouldn't be as big as Liverpool or United. Definitely not. Probably not even as big as Arsenal and Chelsea. They just wouldn't be. I'm sure it's grown. It's grown over the last few years because they've been so successful. Since since about 2010, 2010 on, they've been really successful. But before that, they weren't. You know what I mean? It's a bit similar to Newcastle. If Newcastle now, the owners come in and keep going and keep going and keep going. They're there long term. I mean, Newcastle start winning leagues, probably Champions Leagues next 4, 5, 6 years. And then you look 10, 15 years in the future, they've won 4 or 5 leagues and 2 or 3 Champions Leagues, and they're saying they're, the best team in England and all this type of thing. Although Newcastle are a really good heritage club and a huge fan base, bigger than cities, but it just shows you, money, you pump it in. It happened at Blackburn for 1 season and they won the league. Leicester did it a bit of a different way, to be fair to them. So, we just got to be careful. Real Madrid handed triple injury boost ahead of Liverpool game. Yeah, seen that. Madrid lost, was it yesterday to Mallorca? 1-0. They're not firing. But we are certainly not firing. They're not firing on all cylinders. We're not firing at all. So they check every club's finances, Craig Lennox. But why has it taken so long, Mark? So many bleeding breaches. 100 breaches. 100 breaches. They probably need to go through like a tooth comb. 100 plus, 100 plus. Absolutely crazy. Crazy stuff. But something has to happen for the integrity, I think, of the Premier League and for football in general. Something. We're not saying make a bloody, an example of them and relegate them and take their money and, all this type of thing. But something definitely has to happen. Something has to happen. What it is, I don't know. Hush money paid, I reckon, says Henry. They do check. City lied. Well, that's part of the breach, isn't it? They were saying the money was coming from somewhere else, or money didn't come here, money did come there. And it was basically the irregularities in the financial statements. Every year, clubs give their financial statements. And as you said earlier, everybody was saying City made the most money last year. I mean, how the hell did he, could give us an advantage. I agree, like the old days, just the FA Cup and the Champions League. Well, I mean, it's crazy. It's all money now. That's the problem. Man City's Premier League title wins in question during an era of alleged financial breaches. PSG would be looked at, I think, too. Surely, PSG, I'm sure they would have been looked at by now. It's crazy. Fudge the books, says Retro Lim. Something like that. Pep will walk if proven, says Eamon. Well, if he's a man of his word, he will. If he's a man of his word. I seen the interview, I think it was last year. And he was saying that if the club is lying to him over the allegations of Champions League breaches that they get off on a technicality, that he would go. I mean, he'd look a fool if they get done here, he would look a fool to stay on, wouldn't he? That's all I'm saying. Who knows? They'll probably get off on a second technicality. Remember, guys, money talks, I'm telling you. Money talks, but this one is this is unprecedented. There's so many breaches, you know what I mean? There's so many breaches. PSG may get the revenue they have, Mbappe, Messi, etc. Yeah, but they're owned. I mean, the Qataris own them, don't they? PSG. The Qataris own them. Abu Dhabi own City. But it's just so much money involved. I mean, it's billions. It's not millions, it's billions. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I just want to get your view, guys, what you think should happen. If they're found guilty, remember, you're not guilty until proven. There's a lot of breaches against them, a lot of allegations, but nothing's been proven yet. Nothing has been proven yet. And it's going to be hard to prove it against all his lawyers and all his barristers and his experts. But let's see what happens. City have today been hit with a charge from the Premier League. Yeah. Relating to several breaches of financial fair play regulations after an investigation by the governing body, which took over 4 years. Yeah, why did it take 4 years? Maybe because of so much paperwork. So does Stevie finally become a Champions League winner and get his medal if City are found guilty? I don't think so, my friend. I don't know, but I don't think so. I'd be surprised if we get those 3 league titles. I'd be very, very surprised. They will be called cheats by the opposition's fans at every game now. Yeah, They're going to get booed and cheated, and no matter what happens out of this, because this really has stained them, hasn't it? I mean, this has stained them. No matter what, even if they get off on a technicality, it's really stained them. A lot of people knew. Look, we're not stupid. We know the stuff going on in the background. We know there was the UEFA thing, of course. There's a lot of rumblings in the background. There's no smoke without fire. But this is big. This is even bigger. This is a big one. What will happen? Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. Only this new commission that's set up, independent commission set up to look into this 4 year. Will they look into after 4 years? I mean, this is only going up to 2018. What happened in 19, 20, 21, 22, and now 23? You know, I got 12 months probation for saying in this country you're innocent until proven guilty. He will go back to Europe club. I think he's only in his 50s like Klopp, but he's been at City for 6.5 years. I think he can't win major trophies with Welsh talent worth billions, and he still haven't won the Champions League. Wow. It might turn into a government thing again. Maybe. The government could get involved in England just for the integrity of the game. It's got to be upstanding. It's got to look fair. It's got to do everything like that. It's got to do it. In other words, stop preaching about fair play and financial fair play and all this type of thing, because it doesn't exist. If you don't do anything about this and look into it deeply and have something come out of it, well, then forget about it. Regardless of this, we can't overlook the fact that FSG is lacking investment in the club during the January window. Could it be because they don't want to spend any more before selling the club? Possibly. I don't know. 2011-12 runners up in United. Yeah, United be in for 2 or 3 as well, won't they? But I can't see it. I just can't see it. When the money gets tight, Pep will go for sure. Well, I mean, transfer bans. This is what I would do. If found guilty, of course, of the breaches, of the major breaches, if they're found guilty, I don't think they'll get relegated. But what I think could happen is points deduction, 10, 15 points maybe deduction. A fine, that'd definitely be the obligatory fine, maybe 50 million. Actually, give them 100 million and give it to give it to the Championship and the League One, League Two teams. Give that 100 million into the grassroots. That'd be nice. Give them the 100 million into the grassroots. Points deduction of 10 or 15 points, and a 2 or 3 year transfer ban. There you go, baby. What would you think of that? Would that be fair? If they're found guilty. City's first title since 1968, captured thanks to a dramatic and iconic goal from Sergio Aguero. Yeah, remember it well. I was watching it in the pub. Aguero! And Rush is on the far side. Evening, my friend. Yeah, we're just having a little chat here, quick chat about what we think will happen in the Manchester City debacle, FFP, breaches, all this type of stuff. As I say, we don't know. I don't know. First time I saw it come on talking about it. I did a short yesterday about it, but it's going to be interesting. But as I hark back to, it is the integrity of the football. It's in the integrity of football, the Premier League, that something has to be done. If found guilty. I have to keep saying that, because they haven't been found guilty yet. These are breaches. These are alleged breaches. They're not breaches until they're, breaches. City will make Europe with a points deduction not harsh enough, says Eamon. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're going. I think relegation is off the table. I cannot see relegation. I just cannot see relegation. It's a points deduction. It's a big fine, and it's transfer bans, I would say. So you can't buy any players, bring in any players, any fresh blood for 2 or 3 years, something like that, or maybe all 3, depending on how bad the breaches are. Every team will have a right to sue. Well, that's true, Mark. Yeah, I mean, Liverpool could sue and say, hold on, we should have won 2 leagues, 1 point behind you, 2 points behind the Brendan Rodgers era. United 1 or 2 were close once or twice. Say we would have won the league if you would have been playing fairly on the pitch. But that's all hindsight. That's history. What will happen? Apparently, the other Premier League clubs are pushing for relegation, says just that. I did see something on Sky Sports about that a lot of clubs weren't happy with it, but I can't see it. I can't see it. I mean, that would be unprecedented. That would be just unbelievable to relegate them. Bang. They'd probably come straight back up, but I'm just saying, imagine that. Relegate them down to League One. So you'd have at least 2 seasons down there, League One and Championship. Remember, City were in League 1, League 2, only a while back, a few years ago. So, MW10 Gaming is in the house. Hit the like, guys. Hit the share. Let's get to 20 likes before we call it a night. They will have to keep all the Premier League teams happy, though, says Mark. Yeah, there's a lot of teams. Apparently, the Big Six are pushing for severe. That's what I heard this guy. I don't know. I'm sure they would have been meeting about it. Probably a little conference call, a Premier League conference call about it, and to see what happens. But Man City just got good because of their money. Yeah, of course. I mean, if you pump all that money in to the ground, the training ground, the area, the players, they're going to get good. You bring in a manager like Pep Guardiola, simple as. I mean, if Liverpool would have the money City had, I'd say we're having at least another Champions League or two and another league or two easily. Probably even another two leagues. We would have definitely won those two leagues with the 1 point in them if we'd City's money. And we definitely would have won at least one of the Champions Leagues that we lost out of three. We won one out of three. We would have won at least another one. So, I mean, it's hypothetical stuff, of course, but I mean, it's about fairness. It's basically about fairness, isn't it? I mean, if you're bending the rules and you're not playing the field and you're not doing, you're not fair, even as a kid playing football or playing on the road or whatever you're playing, you didn't want to cheat. A cheat in any game is thrown out. I remember as a kid, if you're cheating, you're gone, baby. At least for this game, you're gone. So, can't blame the City players. The club should get sanctioned heavily. I'm not blaming the City players. It's the club I'm blaming. You can't even blame Pep, can you? It's the owners, basically, who you're blaming. City could get 15 points deduction or championship football, says MW. That's what I'm saying. I think relegation, would be super harsh. I'm not sure I don't know about the 100 breaches. I know a few of them are financial irregularities of, profits and buying players and wages and stuff like that. Inflation, higher and lower. But could they get a points deduction? 15 points, 20 points, 100 million fine, 50 million fine, go to grassroots football with the money. And, transfer ban. 1, 2, 3 years. Bang. Or all three together. Anything worse than that is relegation, isn't it? Premier League short sponsorship of the top teams 2009 to 2022, where United, Liverpool, Chelsea short sponsors, all named from years except City's. Theirs is blank. But that's what I'm saying. Where's this bloody... We know where the money's coming from. And Abu Dhabi and, the Etihad. And we know where it's coming from. But it's just crazy. Man City in the Championship first. 126 points. Haaland 60 goals. Yeah, I'd put them in League One. Take them 2 years to come up instead of one. Suddenly increase the sponsorship. Yeah, it's just crazy how they were out there on their own with the most money made last year. I think it was 700 million or 708 million. I think Liverpool was second, but we almost won the quadruple last year. And, we've gone through huge money last year. Madrid were behind Barca, Liverpool, United, Chelsea. What is going on? You know what I mean? Weren't the CEOs and their sponsors just images taken from various stock image sites? I'm not sure. If only this was uncovered when we were in our pomp, says Eamon. I know, it's crazy. We're actually going through a terrible time at the moment, Liverpool. And, we would have walked this league. Well, not say walk it, but we definitely would have won it if we would have been anything like we were in the last 2 or 3 years this season. But it is what it is. We gotta put our shoes on and our socks and shoes on and get ready to rock for next season. This season's basically over. I can't see us getting top four now. Champions League against Madrid. Although Madrid are a bit of a wobble. Jota's back full training. Van Dijk's back full training. We're going to need everybody bleeding back on the pitch to have any chance. But you just never know in football. Who knows? Tim O'Leary, super harsh. My arse, Dave. Relegation, pay up the winners' money and spread it out into grassroots football, says Tim. Oh, yeah, look. Huge fine. They can easily, there's no problem. 100 million fine to City wouldn't be exactly breaking the bank. 100 million fine, grassroots football. Bang, that's one done. 15, 20 point deduction. Either this season or start the next season. And transfer bans. Or as you say, just relegate them on a big fine. Or give them a 15, 20 point deduction in the championship. Make it harder for them to get out of it. No transfers. Tough place to get out of there with a 20 match, a minus 20 starting the season. This way, these teams will think twice about doing it. Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you make, say, right, City, Look what we've done to you. I don't want Newcastle doing it. Don't want Chelsea doing it. Don't want anybody else doing it. PSG be looking over the shoulder. Do you make an example of Man City? I don't know. Is it about that? As I said earlier, I keep going back to it. It's about the integrity of the Premier League. It's about the integrity of fair play in football. Full stop. It's not about getting back at Man City or their fans or anything like that. It's even bigger than that. Hit the like if you want City relegated, says Eamon Kelly. Hit the like. Everyone will be watched closely. Well, they are watched closely anyway, aren't they? They all have to post their financial results at the end of the year and their revenue, probably every 6 months. Independent people go in and check out, what is. And that's where the breaches are coming from. That's where the breaches are coming from because people are watching them. People are going in and saying, well, 100 million, you said 110, where's that 10 gone? Or 150, where's the 50 gone? You said 150, no, it's only 100 million on the paper, where's the 50 gone? Stuff like that. So there are breaches and irregularities, let's say. But as I say, until it's proven, nobody knows what's going to happen. Only when it's proven and the boys or girls from the Premier League or this new independent tribunal comes out and says, right, here it is, blah, blah, blah. You've broke 100 rules. This is the punishment. I don't think they can appeal it. I'm not sure. Even with 100 lawyers, I don't know if they can appeal it. If whatever this commission or independent board comes out with as punishment, if they find that they've breached, I don't think they can appeal it. Something has to be done. Premier League should be investigated themselves, including Richard Scudamore, who was in charge for most of the years. Yep. They need a big penalty, otherwise it will show how corrupt the FA is. The FA will come up with the results now to give United a chance to win the title this season. Why did it take them 4 years to investigate something that is so obvious? Well, we knew something was always going on in the background. We knew, fans knew, the man on the street, the woman down the road, the dog down the road, we all knew there was something going on. I mean, and it just blew it away with their financial statement of last year that they made so much money, more money than Liverpool, United, Chelsea, Barca, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, all the super clubs. They made more money than them, but the fan base is way smaller. Their sponsorships, even their deals, the sponsorship deals. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Let's be real here. You don't know, I don't know. We know there's something fishy going on, but until it's proven, we'll never know. Hopefully it took so long because they were making their case watertight, airtight, whatever. Yeah, but that's what you would think. I mean, you certainly wouldn't be putting it out into the public, all these 100 breaches about Man City, knowing the power they have with money and lawyers and, to come after you if it's fake what you're saying or if it's, unjust, because they will sue the hell out of you and they will rip you to shreds. So there must be something behind it, that type of way. Who have they got next? Who have they got? Sheffield United or Wigan? I don't know. I don't care, really. They've got the board. That's who they have next. The QC next. They were a better team by cheating for years. On end. Money talks loudest all of the time, says Henry. Does. Money talks, my friend. Money makes the world go round, apparently. Money makes football go round. Chelsea got away with writing off bad signings for years, Eamon Kelly, but I mean, this 7.5, 8.5 year, I mean, that is Uri Geller bending. That is just bending the rules. That is literally bending them. 120, Mudryk, what was it, 130, 120 million? Giving them an 8.5 year contract. So you're spreading the payments out 8.5 years? That's just crazy. Have to cap the owner investments in a club. Do you know what'll happen? They'll cap it from next year with Liverpool have new owners and you won't be able to spend the money. That would be real Liverpool, wouldn't it? Liverpool's new owners coming in. They've all this money to spend and there's a fucking cap in the Premier League. It'd be typical Liverpool, wouldn't it? We won the league for the first time in over 30 years and there was a bloody pandemic. The fans couldn't celebrate it. And imagine the Premier League put a cap, say, at 100 million. You can't spend more than 100 million in a window. And then Liverpool's owners come in with billions. And sorry, guys, we can only spend 100 million in a window. That would be real Liverpool, wouldn't it? Oh, my God. Wow. Whatever happens, Dave, Liverpool will not benefit, Sir Oswald. No, I don't think so. I don't think there'll be any titles handed to us or titles that we should have won, would have won, or something like that. But you feel cheated if it is true and these breaches are found to be true. I mean, we were so close to City and we're fighting with one hand behind our back for the last 3 or 4 years. 97 points, 97 points, and not win the league is crazy. They will have to strip them of their titles, says Mark. Yeah, but I don't. Even if they strip them, they'll probably have an asterisk beside them, and no one wins them. You know the type of way. I don't think the silver medalist, like in the Olympics, if you're stripped of the gold, the silver medalist gets the gold, isn't it? And so on down, silver, gold, bronze. Just getting the titles in retrospect would feel hollow. We were still robbed of those moments. Yes, just Hannah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Real Madrid are also suffering from a series of injuries. Vasquez and Mendy are already likely to be absent for the first leg against Liverpool. Yeah, that's a while away. We'll talk about Madrid in about 2 weeks' time. What was it, end of February? So that's a long, long way away. But it's just, it's bitter. It's a bitter taste. It's bittersweet. It's not good. As I say, the integrity of the Premier League, the integrity of football is up for grabs, baby. Independent panel will be Mike Summerby, Gallagher, the Gallagher brothers, and Les from the Coronation Street. Yeah, probably. And your man Boovy, is that his name? The City YouTube guy. Look, yeah, you've got to get the right people on an independent. You know what I mean? You can't have City fans on it. Let's be real here, That'd be a complete laughing stock. But something has to be done. What is done, what is right to be done, unless we know what the breaches are and how big it is, how bad it is, we can't tell. Clubs will only be allowed to spend 70% of revenue. We've always been under that, says Eamon. Well, apparently we're run very well. I mean, this just shows you, doesn't it? You can have all the money in the world. You've got to do the right thing. You've got to do the right thing. The fair financial fair play thing. Hit the like, hit the share. 2 more likes for 20, baby. 1, 2. Real Madrid have been getting away with similar antics for years, like their training ground deal, says, and Rush on the far side. Header 2-0. Yep, true. PSG are probably doing something similar in France. Chelsea under Abramovich, maybe. A lot of stuff going on there. I mean, look, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we're living in at the moment, guys. It is an absolutely crazy world. And just before we go, very sad news, of course, in Turkey and in Syria with the earthquake. Our prayers and blessings go out to all the people in Turkey and Syria. Oh, wow. Those earthquakes and the kids, all the little kids and stuff. Unbelievable stuff. So, prayers to Turkey and Syria. All state-owned clubs need to be relegated, says Just Hannah. It won't happen. Too much money, baby. The Premier League are loving it, rubbing their hands together with so much money coming in. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Crazy. Not going to stay on much longer, guys. 1 more like for 20. Hit that like, hit the share. Roll to 10k is on. I will be doing about 2 or 3 more chats this side of the derby. Of course, the Merseyside derby at Anfield, Liverpool, Everton. We need 3 points. We need to win. It's not going to be easy. Sean Dyche coming in. Everton with a great win the weekend against Arsenal, of course. And then City losing to Spurs. So it is just one of those crazy seasons. But we need to get back on to Liverpool videos on my channel. And Rush is on the far side. Liverpool and Rush on the far side. Is that your channel? Okay. And Henry's live at 9 o'clock tonight as well, guys. Henry Baker is live. Henry Ray Baker live at 9 tonight. So as I say, guys, stay safe. Talk soon. Interesting times ahead. What will happen, Manchester City? The integrity of football is up for grabs if these breaches are found to be true. See you midweek. Stay safe. Talk soon. Wow, it's very, very interesting.